Welcome back to the Stephen A. Smith Show right here over the digital airwaves of YouTube and, of course, iHeartRadio. I did the tweets. I took your calls. But before I get on out of here of this special edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show, because I'm somewhere at a tropical location, okay? That's where I am. I'm in front of you right now, but I'm really, really there, okay? I just wanted to make sure I gave you a little bit of me before I left. And the last thing I'm going to do is take your videos, because I want to see who I'm talking to and who's got the audacity to come at me. So let's take a look.
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Stephen A. Smith? This is Andre the Beast Creighton coming to you from Indianapolis, Indiana, the IMB studio. First, allow me to say that I think you're one of the greatest at what you do by giving, should we say, your perspective on the sports and basically what's going on in the world. My question to you is this: what makes you different? What sets you apart from all the others that are in your field? And what is lacking with the individuals in your profession that have the power, that have the media behind them, and definitely are influencers, but aren't willing to take the stand the way that are not willing to take the stands that you have taken in the last couple of years? Once again, my name is Andre the Beast Creighton. Thank you.
Andre the Beast Creighton, I really, really appreciate that question. Thank you so much in addressing me with the seriousness that it deserves, because first things first, I'm not going to tell you what sets me apart, because that would be me critiquing others in my profession, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave that to people like yourself and others to do that. I know I work hard. I know I work diligently. I know that I'm mission-minded, that there's a higher purpose to anything that I'm saying that comes out of my mouth. I'm not just doing a job. I live this. So that's number one. Number two, again, it's not just a job. And I think what is important to understand is that everybody's got their own flavor. It's not for me to say that I'm the best. When I say things like that, what I mean is I'm number one, meaning ratings and revenue says I'm number one. That's all I mean by that. But best is subjective. So I leave that to other people to decide. But I will tell you that having a reporter's background, caring about facts, caring about being fair-minded, I think goes a long way. And then I think the thing that helps me do my job on a high level is that not only do I care about being fair, I think it's important to highlight and illuminate for people out there what obstacles you may encounter. See, we got people today doing podcasts and shows, and they want to talk about doing what you want to do and freedom and being independent and doing what the hell you want to do, when you want to do, how you want to do it. But they got their hand out for somebody else's money. And they're trying to give you the impression that they don't have to capitulate to anything or anybody, that they don't have to answer to anything or anyone ever. That's simply not true. We got people all over YouTube, for example, acting like they're totally independent, that they're sole proprietors or whatever. Well, how you getting your money from YouTube? Who runs YouTube? It ain't them. Somewhere along the way, you could sit up there and you could cuss, you could use language, you could do anything, and all of a sudden YouTube will flag you. And the content that you put out there or you planned on putting out there doesn't get out there to the masses because they censored you. Everybody wants to walk around acting like there's complete autonomy and that there are people out there who answer to no one. Who are these people? You got one boss that answers to another boss, that answers to another boss, that answers to another boss, that answers to shareholders and stockholders and voters and constituents and all of this other stuff. Nobody is devoid of being answerable to someone else. I understand that. So a lot of times when I'm highlighting stuff, I'm saying, okay, this is your decision, but understand what comes with it. Understand the obstacles that lie in wait, the minefields and the pitfalls that lie in wait. Know what you're facing, what you're embracing. I think that helps me. Whether that sets me apart from everybody else or whatever, that's y'all decision to make. But I appreciate the love, and I thank you for it. Let's get to the next video, please.
Yo, what's up, Stephen A? This Mike from Atlanta, Georgia. Just still stuck on that Trump assassination attempt. Hey, with all those cameras out there, man, nobody has a reverse angle of that shot. That's all we get is this. Oh, that lady in the white shirt back there had her camera out. What you think, Stephen A? Shouldn't we be able to find a reverse angle shot of that bullet hitting his ear? What you think?
I think in today's day and age, with the advent of technology and whatever, I don't think that's an unreasonable request on your part. The reverse angle that you're talking about here, maybe, maybe not, but you have Secret Service folks that says he was shot. He clearly says he was shot. We saw the blood trickling down his face. We heard shots fired. An individual was clearly killed by the Secret Service and by snipers and SWAT folks that was out there. I mean, that's evidence. You got elected officials on Capitol Hill swearing by it. You have the director of the Secret Service who was forced to resign. There's a lot of preponderance of evidence out there to confirm what we all believe we saw, which was him getting shot. And then when we take into account the climate that exists today, you've got people ready to inflict violence at the drop of a hat. There appears to be a drastically dissipated level of decorum, of respect for our fellow man and woman. All right, you see how kids today are acting towards adults. You and I both know that, bro. You understand? Some of the things kids try to get away with today, please, they wouldn't have even thought about it back in the day. They'd have got their ass kicked, and they know it. But we live in different times. And when everywhere you turn, you see the advent of violence proliferating and elevating before our very eyes. Unfortunately and sadly, it's not hard to deduce that there was an legitimate attempted assassination attempt on the former president of the United States. I believe it was. I understand those who want to be skeptical in a moment, and you say, it looks fake, look this, look that. But once you collect your senses and you realize the times that we're living in and all the fallout from the incident itself, I think to intimate that it may not have been a legit shooting is immature. I'm not saying you're doing that, because all you're asking is a reverse angle. But I'm just saying it is what it is. Thank God he wasn't killed, because if he were killed, the world would be a different place today. And America would be really, really different today. It would be very bad. It really, really would. Next video, what you got?
What's up? It's Casey from Snellville, and I got a quick question for you, Stephen A. Out of everybody on the males basketball team, who do you think is taking the last shot? Shot on the line, fate of the universe. Who is taking the last shot to save us all? Appreciate it.
On what team? Team USA? The last shot. You know me. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to say it's Steph Curry or Kevin Durant, assuming he plays. I know LeBron is Herculean and can make big things happen. I know Anthony Davis and Joel Embiid and all them brothers can get it done. Devin Booker, let's not rule him out. Tyrese Halliburton is no scrub. Jason Tatum is a champion. So is Drew Holiday. So is Derek White. But if I got to rely on a shot maker, I'm going to shoot one of the most prolific scorers in the history of basketball and the greatest shooter that God ever created, in Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, respectively. Those are going to be my choices. Next video, please.
What's going on, Stephen A? This is Marcus from Baton Rouge. Just calling to ask you about my Hawks, even though, yes, I am a Hawks fan in Baton Rouge. Who do you think has more pressure on them this upcoming season? Would it be Trey Young playing with the #1 overall pick, or the guy that we just traded away in DeJounte Murray, who's right down the street in New Orleans, playing with Zion, CJ McCollum, and possibly Brandon Ingram all on the same team? Who do you think has more pressure on them?
That's the easiest question I've received all day. It's clearly Trey Young. First of all, ain't nobody thinking about DeJounte Murray. It's not that he's a scrub, because he's not. He can ball, okay? And we understand that. But the reality is, when you look at DeJounte Murray and you see that he's in New Orleans, you ain't thinking about nobody but Zion Williamson. The New Orleans Pelicans goes where Zion takes them. And the fact that he got hurt after having a monster game against LeBron James, the game he got hurt, goes a long way, because you're imagining and fantasizing, if we see that Zion Williamson, oh, look the hell out. New Orleans could be a big-time threat. Ain't nobody thinking about the Atlanta Hawks. Nate McMillan should have never been fired. Respect Quinn Snyder, but I don't think he was the right man for that job. And Trey Young has proven to be a volume shooter. Not nearly as effective and efficient as we all thought he could be. He has moments of the spectacular. He can drop 50 on you in a heartbeat. He can shoot long range. He can get to the hole. He's cat quick. He's very, very skilled. He belongs in the NBA. But when he got to the conference finals, we thought this brother was on to something. When he got to the conference finals and only Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks derailed him, we thought special times were ahead from this brother who elevated in the spotlight. And then over the last couple of years, what have we seen? I mean, there's an APB out for them brothers in Atlanta. So there's clearly more pressure on him. There was talk of trading him. DeJounte Murray can ball, but he wasn't considered Trey Young caliber. And he's in New Orleans. It's all about Zion. In Atlanta, it's all about Trey. As in, what you gonna do, bro? Could you please step up your game? I believe in Trey Young. I know the brother's not a scrub, but he's got to be more efficient for the Atlanta Hawks to be more relevant. It's just that simple.